What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. Let's go. Let's go. Another Shadowlands video. I'm rhyming. You get that? Did you? I'm like a rapper. Okay, I'm not. I'm not a rapper. Stop calling me a rapper. Okay. Let's go. Let's do this. Right? What are we talking about today? Doomwinds. Grab your coffee. We're not talking about happy wins. We're not talking about ambivalent wins. We're not talking about mediocre wins. We're talking about Doomwinds, baby. Doomwinds in 9.2. Is it going to be a thing? No, it's not going to be a thing. You can just exit the game. I'm just kidding. It's going to be a thing. Let's look at Doomwinds. Let's talk about what does the legendary do, cuz nobody's crafted this legendary yet, so I need to explain to you guys how it works. Right? I'm sure nobody understands how Doomwinds works. I'm going to explain how it works. We're going to talk about, look at my notes. Hold on. Everybody stop talking. Everybody stop talking. I got to get my notes. Put them there. I'll put that there. Okay, we're ready now. Stat priority, talents and tier set bonus, covenant choice. That's a big section in this video. Is going to be covenant choice. And I'll talk about that when we get there. Doomwinds is like a covenant agnostic legendary, right? It doesn't care what covenant you're in because there's not a lot of synergies there. Doomwinds does Doomwinds things every time. So we'll get there when we get there. Then we're going to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of Doomwinds. We're going to talk about, I'm going to demonstrate the build. And then I forgot to write one more note here. Oh my god, where to craft Doomwinds. And I believe there's a very obvious choice, so it's not a problem, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay, are you ready? Got your coffee? Are you ready? Let me get a drink first before I talk for 6 hours straight. Okay. What does Doomwinds do? Nobody knows. It's a mystery. Dropping Wind Fury Totem, of course, gives you Wind Fury weapon procs for 12 seconds. It guarantees Wind Fury weapon for 12 seconds, and it does 25% more damage. That's what it does. We know that. And that is what it is. Now, like I'm saying, there's no synergy with Doomwinds with any of the covenants because it just does its thing. You plop down Wind Fury Totem, and boom, you have this big burst window. So that's what it provides. Of course, it is the only source of uncapped AoE in the Enhancement Shaman kit. Now, I've tried to talk over the last several weeks and month or so about how uncapped AoE is not the end-all, be-all. It's fine if you're pushing a plus 25 key, and maybe that's when you really need it. But I would wager that all the other builds that are coming in to 9.2, their power level is going up by like a lot. And having even 6 target capped AoE, which is the standard for Enhancement Shaman, Flame Shock only has 6 targets, Fire Nova only hits 6 targets, yada, yada, yada. Going on and on. Chain Harvest hits 5 targets, right? So there is a six cap, basically, target cap for Enhancement Shaman, but it still works. Our builds work really well. We contribute a lot of AoE. We just don't have uncapped AoE unless you're running Doomwinds. And it's obviously very good for that. Now, let's talk about your stat priorities. Let's move forward into stat priority. So what are you going to want? You're probably not going to want Mastery. All the other builds that I've been talking about, let me just get back to that really, really quickly. All the other builds, their power level has gone up. Doomwinds was already like here, and the other builds were probably like here. I've been trying a lot of them out. They're probably not quite as good as Doomwinds right now. I'll be honest about that. But in 9.2, because of the baseline changes coming to Lava Lash, spreading Flame Shock, Chain Harvest, getting its cooldown reduced, blah, blah, blah. A lot of these other builds, especially the fire builds, are coming up here, and Doomwinds might only be going up to like here. So they're going to be like neck and neck, I think. Maybe Doomwinds is still better. I'm actually going to say that it's not. But that's what's happening in patch 9.2. All these other builds that were below, they got a huge quality of life change with Lava Lash spreading Flame Shock. So boom, they're going to come up to the same level as Doomwinds. And that is really awesome. It doesn't mean that Doomwinds is dead. It just means that the other builds finally have a chance to shine in the spotlight a little bit. And that's really what's exciting. So what is the stat priority? Again, you don't really want Mastery with this build, right? Because you're not doing nature damage or fire damage or frost damage. You're pressing Storm Strike, and Storm Strike is physical damage. As unfortunate as it is, that is the case. So you really want to invest in, again, a certain amount of haste. You probably want 36, 35% haste, and then you're going to go for crit after that. I mean, versatility is also probably fine, but you really want to get more crit, I would say, with this build. So that's what you're going to go for the Doomwinds build, because Mastery just doesn't synergize with Stormstrike. And lo and behold, we are pressing Stormstrike over and over again, because look at the talents that we're choosing. Of course, you have to take Forceful Winds. That's the must take. And then you're going to go Stormflurry, Ellie Assault. There is something to be said for going for the Frost Shock build with Hailstorm. There's even something to be said for going Fire Nova with this build. However, for the purposes of this test, I just want to show what you would most likely want to run. What is the standard kind of Doomwinds one. Now, you're not taking Ascendance anymore. And that's a big change for this build. I think you can still take Ascendance, don't get me wrong. But the reason that you're not going to take Ascendance is because the tier set bonus is so strong with Elemental Spirits now. Spending Maelstrom Weapon has a 3% chance to give you a Wolf, so that's a 15% chance every time you cast, like, fully juiced Chain Lightning or Lightning Bolt. Your Feral Spirit's attacks have a chance to trigger Stormbringer. So I was talking about in the Fire builds, Skybreakers, Primal Lava Actuators, they care about the 2-set bonus here, because they want to get a Fire Dog out, and the Fire Dog gives you 20% more damage. If you get 2 Fire Dogs, it's like 40-45% more damage, right? That's what they care about. Doomwinds cares about the 4-piece bonus, because you want to be resetting Stormstrike, because you want to press Stormstrike as much as humanly possible in the Doomwinds window. Okay, you want to be doing that as much as you possibly can in that window, because it's going to trigger more Wind Fury stacks. It's going to trigger the Forceful Winds damage from your Wind Fury, right? So the four set bonus is really what we care about as a Doomwinds person. A Doomwinds shaman. Shaman are not people, obviously. So that's like your talent choices, and this is your tier set bonus interaction. Again, there is probably something to be said for this row here. If you want more AoE, maybe go Fire Nova. Maybe I'll actually showcase that in a bit. I'm not entirely sure. Give me a second. We'll think about that, okay? But this is the setup that you're probably going to run, okay? The big change, of course, is that you're flipping Ascendance into Elemental Spirits. The other big change for Kyrian is Earthshield. I'll get to that in a minute. But that is it. And that's the tier set bonus. Let's move into the Covenants, actually. So this Covenant section is going to be a little bit longer, okay? Because, as I said before, Doomwinds does its thing no matter what. It's always going to do its Doomwinds thing regardless of what else you're doing in your Covenant. So the real question is, what can we get to synergize with Doomwinds? What actually synergizes well with this Doomwinds Legendary? Well, I'm going to do them in order. We're going to go Venthyr, Night Fae, Kyrian, and then we're going to finish with Necrolord. I think Necrolord has the most synergy. Let's get to that in a minute. Let's go through the other ones first. Venthyr is going to, obviously you cast Chain Harvest, and it's going to add a bunch of Flame Shock damage. Let me get up, I just did a couple of tests here. Let me just get this up. Put this over here. That was a Kyrian one. Nope. Here it is. So here's the Venthyr one. The damage overall is actually quite bad, and I was trying to figure out if I was doing something wrong, but I don't think I was. As you can see with the breakdown, Wind Fury attack, of course, is right up there because we're running Doomwinds. That's the Doomwinds effect right there. You get all your Wind Fury attacks coming in. But look at Flame Shock and Chain Harvest. I cast Chain Harvest 4 times in a 2-minute fight. That's pretty standard, right? Even without Skybreakers. Chain Harvest got off 4 times. That's a 30-second cooldown Chain Harvest. Not a minute and a half. It's a 30-second cooldown. So here's what's really interesting with the Venthyr style of Doomwinds build. Doomwinds tends to go like this. Mountains and valleys, right? Your Doomwinds is up, boom, my damage goes up to 20, 30. If you have Lust, it's like 40k maybe. Boom, boom, boom. We have a big burst. Then it comes down over the course of the fight. As it goes longer and longer, you come down to 20k, 18k. And then on the next pack, you don't have your Doomwinds proc. So you're doing like 8k or maybe 10 if you're lucky. But probably not, honestly. The Venthyr playstyle with Doomwinds levels out the valleys, so you don't go down as far. You still go up with Doomwinds, and then you come down a little bit, and then you plateau. You don't go all the way down anymore because of Chain Harvest spreading Flame Shocks for free. Look how much damage the friggin' Flame Shocks did. That's just passive damage that you're getting as an extra bonus now if you're going to run Venthyr and you have the double legendaries unlocked. You get these huge Chain Harvests. They do big burst damage, as you can see. They're doing 15% of our damage, just Chain Harvest by itself. They add 5 Flame Shocks, which are all ticking and doing extra damage. They're doing 16% of our damage. And then when you get your Doomwinds back, boom, you go back in and you go back up to the mountain again. But then when you come down off the mountain, you've got Chain Harvest and Flame Shock to save you from going down into the valley. It's not that big of a drop anymore. And that's what's really awesome about the playstyle for Venthyr, is it really evens out that playing style. So that is an awesome quality of life change for the Doomwinds build, in the sense that every single pack now, you will have extra damage. Chain Harvest is up every 30 seconds in AoE and Mythic Plus. You will have it up for every single pack, and that will help to bring your damage up in the valleys, which is really fantastic. Okay, what about Night Fae? What about Night Fae? Let's look at that. Is this Night Fae? Yeah, it is. Here's the Night Fae one. So again, the damage overall for the Night Fae wasn't good either. And I'm not really sure why. Again, 2 minutes and 10 seconds on this fight. We got to cast Fae Transfusion twice, which is pretty great. Well, what does the Night Fae do for you in terms of Doomwinds? The Night Fae ability, of course, the legendary effect, of course, says each pulse of Fae Transfusion reduces the cooldown of your dogs and gives you crit. So it ends up, it ticks 6 times. So it gives you 6 times 9 is 54 seconds off of your wolves. And then 6 times 4 is 24% crit. You get 24% crit. So what you want to do is you would summon your wolves. First of all, every single fight now, you're going to start with Flame Shock and then Lava Lash to spread Lava Lash. And then you do something like Crash Lightning. And then you would spread you do your Feral Spirits. Then you would Fae Transfuse and hit as much as you can to reduce the cooldown of your Spirit Wolves. Then you press Doomwinds. You press your Wind Fury Totem and you go into Doomwinds because you have 24% more crit in the Doomwinds window. And you have your dogs up. They're going to be proccing your Storm Strike, right? Feral Spirits attacks have a chance to give you Stormbringer. So they're going to be giving you Stormbringer in your Doomwinds window. This is what we want. On top of that, you're getting extra Flame Shock damage and all that sort of stuff. But the cooldown of Feral Spirit goes down quite a bit because of the Fae Transfusion that you did. It took 54 seconds off the cooldown. By the time you're out of your Doomwinds window, the spirits will be up again and you can cast them again. Feral Spirits once again. And then you can just continue with your rotation. So there's a bit of synergy here, a little bit of synergy, where it's not just giving you extra damage, it's giving you that crit, and you want to put that crit into your Doomwinds window. So that's fine. It's a good playstyle. It just didn't do a lot of damage for me when I was testing, and I think I played it fine. So again, you can see Wind Fury attack's going to be way up at the top. Crash Lightning is really high because Crash Lightning has a chance to proc Wind Fury weapon like every single time it hits. And then Flame Shock, once again, look at all the Flame Shock damage that you get for free. Every single build that Enhancement Shaman gets to play now has free Flame Shock damage. Some of the builds, the fire builds, are leaning into that damage really hard and they're modifying it. But even these builds where you're going Night Fae or Kyrian, they don't care, but they don't really interact with Flame Shock whatsoever, and you're still getting 14%, like 10 to 14% more damage overall simply because of the Flame Shocks that you get to spread with Lava Lash. So it's like such an enormous bonus that all Shaman builds are getting now. You just get free extra damage, which we didn't have before. So ultimately what I'd say is you can run Night Fae if you want to. You can put that crit into the Doomwinds window, and you should have it up for almost every single Doomwinds window, maybe every other Doomwinds window where you get that crit. So that's pretty exciting. And you can have more Feral Spirit uptime, which gives you more procs on Stormbringer, which inside the Doomwinds window is extremely powerful. That is sort of the Night Fae take on it. It synergizes quite well with the tier set bonus, and it gives you massive amounts of crit. That's that right there. Now, I'm not going to showcase those two builds because it just takes like way too long to go back and forth to Ouroboros. What I am going to do is show you the Kyrian build, and then I'm going to flip to Necrolord, and I think Necrolord is going to be where it's at, guys, and I'll show you that in a second. But first of all, let's talk about Kyrian. The Kyrian ability is very interesting and potentially difficult to pull off. So what's the legendary effect do? Legendary effect says When 3 charges of Vesper Totem are consumed, 3 charges, Vesper Totem radiates damage. Okay? That's all you need to know. It does a big burst of damage. Now, how do you trigger 3 charges of Vesper Totem? Well, of course, in the original Vesper Totem texture, it says your next 3 damaging abilities will cause extra damage to radiate. That's just like the normal Vesper Totem stuff. And your next 3 healing spells will cause 6 allies to be healed for a certain amount of health as well. So the only way to trigger 6 of these charges is to do 3 damaging spells and then to do 3 healing spells. And I'm going to show you that really quick before we get into it. Watch this. I throw a Vesper Totem down. That's the our initial damage. Here comes my damage abilities. There's 1. You see it pulses. Here's the second one. Pulses. Here comes the legendary effect. See that extra pulse at the end? That was the legendary effect. Now, if I keep casting damage abilities, it doesn't pulse anymore. So I have to now press healing abilities. There's 1 pulse. There's a second pulse. There's a third pulse. And there's the extra legendary effect. Did you see that, guys? Did you see? This is really important to understand. When 3 charges of Vesper Totem are consumed, Vesper Totem will radiate damage. You can't... That can happen twice for Vesper Totem. With the legendary effect. That's what's so cool about it. You can make this proc twice. Not for 6,000 damage, but for 12,000 damage. 6,000 damage times 2. So the problem is you have to press 3 damage abilities, and then you also have to press 3 healing abilities to get the second proc on this legendary effect. Do you see how that works? There was some big confusion about this. So the problem now I gotta get a comment. The problem now becomes, okay, well, that actually is quite powerful. This is very powerful. An extra 6,000 damage is no joke. So what's the most efficient way to proc the healing side of the Vesper Totem? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you're asking. You're thinking about the right stuff. Way to go, you. Give yourself a pat in the back. The best way to do it is with Earth Shield. This is why I'm taking Earth Shield as the Kyrian. So this is very strange, but Earth Shield counts as a heal. There's multiple ways you can do this. You can press Healing Stream Totem. You can press Racials like Gift of the Naru. That also procs the healing. You can press a Maelstrom-infused Healing Surge, or you can just spam Earth Shield. Now, I think spamming Earth Shield is literally the best way to do it. I'll show you how this happens really, really quickly. Let's do it really fast, just one more time. We go Vesper Totem. We go damage, damage, damage. There's the first one. I'm spamming Earth Shield. 1, 2, 3. There's the second proc, and then we're back to our rotation. Do you see that, guys? I got both sets of my charges out right away. And you can see the damage. This is the legendary damage here. This second line. So the original Vesper Totem did a buttload of damage, but the legendary effect is here, doing about 20%. That was like a 10-second fight, so that's not really realistic. I'll do a rotation in a second. I'll show you what it looks like. That's what we're talking about, though. This is how the Vesper Totem playstyle works. So now, what if you're doing Doomwinds? Well, it's kind of strange, right? Because you want to get through your entire Doomwinds window before you start using the healing portion of the Vesper Totem. You don't ever want to press Earth Shield while you're in your Doomwinds window. You need to press damaging abilities. So let me show you how it works here. You're going to I'll talk about Soulbinds in a minute, but let's just show you the rotation here. Every single fight, guys, you need to start with Flame Shock, Lava Lash. Okay, ready? So we go Flame Shock. It's too strong. It's too strong. This happened earlier. Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so funny. The build is too strong. If you run in like that and you Flame Shock a dummy with Doomwinds equipped, it will crash your game. It will absolutely crush your client, and you will not be able to recover. Oh my god, that's so funny. This happened earlier. I'm really glad it happened again because it's just really funny. Okay, round two. Round two. I see you, dummy. I see what you did there. You don't think I'm coming after you. Look, you're even looking the wrong way. You're disrespecting me. I see what you're doing. I see. Don't start with me. Okay, here we go. Every build, you need to start. Flame Shock, Lava Lash. Here we go. Flame Shock, don't crash. Lava Lash. Okay, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Now, we're going to go Vesper Totem. Slam. Then we're going to go Chain Lightning. And we're going to go into our Doomwinds window in a second. Here we go. Wolves, Doomwinds. Here we go. Doomwinds, Doomwinds, Doomwinds. You can see it's down there. Then, once our Doomwinds is over, which it's over right now, we're going to spam Earth Shield to get that to proc. There's the second proc on our Vesper Totem. And you can see it's almost back. We'll do it again in a second. This is the best part about Vesper Totem. It's such a low friggin' cooldown, man. It's so low. It's awesome. Okay? So, we're going to keep going. Vesper Totem. And we slam. 1, 2, 3 damaging abilities. Spam Earth Shield. 2, 3 healing abilities. There, it went off twice. There you go. And back to our rotation. We'll do one more Doomwinds. We're going to do one more Doomwinds thing. Doomwinds thing. It's a Doomwinds thing, guys. I don't want to talk about it. And we'll go back. Remember, you need to spread Flame Shocks. This is the extra passive damage that every build is getting now, but you have to actually press your buttons. Okay. Okay, Doomwinds is here. Here we go. We're going to press it. Go slam a damage him. Boom. We're fishing for those procs on Storm Strike, Storm Strike, Storm Strike, baby. Crash Lightning, Storm Strike, Sundering. In the Doomwinds window. We love that. Vesper Totem. Spread Flame Shock. 1, 2, 3 damaging abilities. We're out of our Doomwinds, so we can heal. 1, 2, 3 Earth Shields. There we go. That's the build. Did you see that, guys? That's how it works. Now, of course, Wind Fury Totem is going to be at the top because that's what we're running. That's our Doomwinds right there, so it's almost 20%. Vesper Totem, though, holy crap, look at this. This is the legendary effect here, 7.7%. Almost a 2-minute fight. We cast Vesper Totem 3 times. In a 2-minute fight, you could cast it 4 times. So it's really, really, the cooldown of it is incredibly low, which is so great. And it did more damage than Wind Fury attack did overall. Now, it's a little bit cumbersome, right? It's a little annoying to have to spam Earth Shield, but you can see the damage was there. It was fine. It still works. So, that's how that works. That's that style. I'm not saying you can't play this style. I think it actually works. What does the Kyrian style do for you? It creates an even bigger burst window on the mountain. When we're going up with Doomwinds, that mountain moment, it's huge. It's giving you an even bigger, but it also, excuse me guys, sorry. It also helps to smooth out the valley part as well, just like the Venthyr ability does, because with Mechanicos, you're going to be getting the cooldown reduction on Vesper Totem. It's going to go down to like 40 seconds. So, very, very cool stuff. Instead of coming all the way down and having a bad sort of valley moment, you're essentially going to even that out with the Vesper Totem damage. So, Venthyr, Doomwinds, Hailstorm. Yeah. Flocked. I'll look at that. I'll look at that later. So that's the Kyrian. That's the Kyrian style, and I think that it's going to be fine. You just have to remember, in order to proc the. This is different. In order to get the legendary effect from the Kyrian ability, you need to press whatever combination of healing spells you want to press. It doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want, but spamming Earth Shield does in fact work, and it's got to be the quickest way to do it, I think, in my opinion. So, Kyrian, yeah. Now, the only issue as well with if you take Mechanicos as Kyrian, it doesn't always line up with Doomwinds. So it can be difficult to get those two to line up, and that's okay. It doesn't have to line up. It's just like it would be nice if they always lined up, because then your burst window is even stronger, right? So that's how that plays. This is the final build we're going to look at. We're going to look at Necrolord, which I actually think is personally going to be the best way to play this. This is why I saved it for last. I think it's the best way to play the Doomwinds build. So, what does it do? Of course, the Necrolord legendary effect says each additional lightning bolt generated by Primordial Wave gives you 10% haste. Guys, this is so much better now simply because Lava Lash spreads Flame Shock, right? Every enemy that has a Flame Shock on them, when you cast Primordial Wave, it will, and you spend your Maelstrom Infused Lightning Bolt, it'll hit every target that has a Flame Shock on them. If you have 5 targets with Flame Shock, you're getting 50% more haste, which is like almost twice as good as Lust. So this is, I think, the best way to play the Doomwinds build, and I'll explain why in a second here. Let's just do the rotation. Let's do the rotation first. So actually, I'll show you this whole line first. Sorry, I'm going to show you this first. Mandatory stuff, you need to take Tumbling Waves to get the Primordial Wave reset, and you need Unruly Winds. Of course, with every single one of these Doomwinds builds, Unruly Winds is the #1 choice that you need to take, okay? You just have to take it. When I was running with Mechanicos, there's an issue, Mechanicos for Kyrian, you have the Genesis node kind of in the middle down here, which gives you haste. You have to make a choice if you're going to run Mechanicos. If you're going to go Kyrian, you have to choose between the bonus that you're getting from the Genesis haste that you're going to get, or you have to get a third potency slot so you can fit in Unruly Winds plus the Vesper Totem one plus the plus this one, Focus Lightning. So that's just a little caveat there about the Kyrian one. But for this, it doesn't really matter what you run. Mastery is not as good. And both these guys really offer mastery, so Emini might be a better pick. You could probably just go Emini, and it would be potentially better. We could just slot into that, I guess, right? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's do that. I'll show you Emini. I think that's the better way to go. So, what are you going to do as the Necrolord, Doomwinds, Shaman? What are you trying to accomplish? You're going to set up all these mobs before you get into your Doomwinds window because you want to proc the haste bonus right as you go into Doomwinds. Everybody with me? So we're going to start again with Flame Shock Lava Lash. We're going to get all the Flame Shocks going. Then we're going to press our Super Juiced Lightning Bolt after we press Primordial Wave. Okay? Boom, boom, spreading. Here we go. We're going to press Primordial Wave. We got a reset, which is amazing. Here we go. We're going to go Lightning Bolt into Doomwinds. Go, 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 go. Look at the haste. Look at the haste. Look at the haste. Look at the haste. It's so crazy. We're all in the Doomwinds window. It's like having Lust in the Doomwinds window. I can't even hit it fast enough. Okay, let's go again. Second Primordial Wave. Oh, we got to reset again. Holy crap. Lightning Bolt. Here we go. Go, 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 go. Haste. Our haste is at 100%. Look at our haste right now. 100% haste. Bing, bing, bing. Big damage. Bing, bing, bing. Why did I say bing, bing, bing? Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to go again. Primordial Wave. Lightning Bolt. Go. No, I actually probably should have saved it there, but that's okay. Go, 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 go. Big damage, big damage. It's just insane, like how many procs we're going to get on Wind Fury, right? Now, Doomwinds is coming back off cooldown, and I essentially messed this up. I should not have done this in this way, but I'm just going to keep going. We're just going to push through. Doomwinds is up. Here we go. Crash Lightning, get as much in as you can. Now, here comes Primordial Wave. We're going to press it. We got a reset. That's insane. Lightning Bolt and go. Now, I'm actually going to save... It's risky. I'm not sure what to do here. I want to save my Primordial Wave for my Doomwinds window, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to save it. So we're going to chill. We're going to wait on our dogs for a minute. We're going to save everything. We're trying to line these things up, right? There's a bit of, like, brain power you got to spend here lining these things up. I got dogs ready to go. Doomwinds is coming. 7 seconds. So here we go. Ready? We're going to go Primordial Wave. We're getting ready here. We're going to go dogs, Lightning Bolt, Doomwinds, go. Big haste, big haste, big haste. I think it's worth holding on to the Primordial Wave buff for the Doomwinds window. I think it's really important to do that because you get so many procs, man. You just get so many procs. Okay? That's it. That's the damage. So there you go. Let's take a look at it. Wind Fury attack is at the top because we get to proc it so many times with the haste value that we had from the Primordial Wave buff, right? From Splintered Elements. We had an entire minute. We had a whole minute of like 90% haste in that fight. Isn't that crazy? It's so crazy, guys. So this is I think the best build, and it did more damage overall than the other ones did as well. I think that this is just the better one. That's a demonstration of how it works there, but I just think that you can shove this super juiced haste window into your Doomwinds effect. The only issue is having to like line it up. That can be difficult because sometimes the pack is like dying right as your Doomwinds is coming off cooldown and your Primordial Wave isn't lining up. So you're going to need to do some like mental math on the fly when you're in a dungeon to make sure that you line it up perfectly. But if you can line up the Primordial Wave with your Doomwinds window, it's so much haste and it equals so much damage. You get so many procs on Stormstrike. It's amazing. It's just amazing. So this is I think the best iteration of the new Doomwinds 9.2 as we move into the new patch. I think that Necrolord is going to be the best way to go. And I just think that it's just awesome. The haste really just leans hard into the Wind Fury attack and what it really has to offer, right? So excuse me. So let's move past all the builds. Those are the I wanted to home in on the different covenants for a long time there because it's really important. Doomwinds could be paired with any covenant, and you can decide what you want to do. Do you want to go like Venthyr and have those valleys be reduced? Kyrian is also going to reduce the valley portion of the Doomwinds playstyle. The Night Fae, it gives you a bunch of crit and get your dogs back, which synergizes really well with the tier set bonus. That's one way to play it. Primordial Wave gives you massive haste windows during your Doomwinds window as well, which means that you're just going to be doing extra damage. Those are all legitimate ways to play this build. What's the strengths and weaknesses of Doomwinds? Of course, the strengths always really have to go with this big uncapped AoE burst window. Huge uncapped AoE burst window. Large burst window every minute. And again, all the damage is going to be buffed even more because we're getting Lava Lash spreading Flame Shock. So you get free passive damage now in addition to your big burst window. But that's the biggest thing it offers. The weaknesses of Doomwinds is that you really have to have strong Doomwinds windows. If you mess up your Doomwinds window, all of your damage is gone because all of your damage is funneled into that 1 12-second window. That's it, guys. So if you have a bad moment on a pole where you get stunned by a mechanic or anything happens to you during the Doomwinds window, it's kind of lights out. Like you're losing so much damage there. Now, it's not as bad moving into 9.2 because again, you're getting the free Flame Shock damage, but by and large, your Doomwinds window lives or dies by you being able to do damage while you're in the window. Okay? That's a really enormous part of it. So that's the demonstrations of the build. Where are you going to craft Doomwinds? Of course, it's on your back because that's the safe place to put it. Tier set bonuses are on the head and the shoulders and the chest and the gloves and the legs. So you have your ring slots are open, your wrist is open, and your back is open. Doomwinds can only go on the back or on the head and the waist. And the waist is already covered by the Clasp of Unity. That's going to be stuck, so the back is the obvious choice there. So that's where you want to craft it. If you don't have it crafted on your back, then you should switch to putting it on your back right now. So yeah, that's it, guys. That is the Doomwinds iteration moving into 9.2. I know this video was super long, but there's just so many different things to talk about with Doomwinds. It's certainly not a dead legendary. It's going to be very good in Mythic Plus. I believe there's legitimately 4 different covenants you could pick. You just need to figure out how you want to play the build. You know, there's the mountains and valleys. You're evening out some of those valleys with Venthyr and even Kyrian. Kyrian's a little bit wonky to play because of the Earth Shield spamming, but if you can get used to it, then it's got lots of burst damage. If you want to go get the crit from Night Fae and have your dogs reducing the cooldown of them, which procs more of your tier set bonuses, then that's another way to go. Or you can go for the super huge haste windows with Necrolord, which really helps to fit in all the extra Wind Fury attacks. And your auto attacks are just going to be going like a million miles a minute. It makes your Flame Shock dots tick even faster once you've got those all spread. So there's a lot of good reasons, I think. It makes your dogs also attack quicker. So if you can fit your Feral Spirits into the Necrolord haste window, then that's also what you're going to want to do. So there's benefits to all of them. You need to figure out which one you want to do. I'm just sort of presenting the evidence here, trying to show you guys what is possible. So that's Doomwinds. That's Doomwinds in 9.2. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you so much for the subscriptions. If you're not subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it. It obviously helps out the channel a massive amount. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs, and we're well on our way. So thanks again for everything, and I'll see you guys in the next one.